Pleasure to have you on. Tesla was already doing driverless cars, wasn't it, along with countless other companies who are working on the concept. Is this the first time we've heard about the driverless taxi element?
This is not the first time. Clearly, when it comes to Elon Musk, he's been working on autonomous vehicles for a long time. I think even with Tesla themselves, a lot of them have AI autopilot, the ability to drive themselves. Again, you still need a driver behind the wheel, but it's been collecting mass troves of data. So this was a natural progression. Nothing new expected, but it's the first time we kind of saw some of these prototypes.
There have been a few horror stories in previous years about the testing safety records of driverless cars. How are they coming along? Are they improving?
They're definitely improving, and I think there's a lot of talk around how these cars could actually be safer than human beings behind the wheel. I think when you have human beings, they're prone to distractions, there's errors, but when you have cars talking to each other, what happens is if I'm able to sense another autonomous vehicle and there's some sort of framework, you can ensure that these cars don't hit, they don't touch, they can detect humans, and the response time is a lot faster than human beings as well. So I think, yes, there's been some horror stories, but in the end, I think driverless vehicles are definitely going to be more safer than human vehicles.
I can see the point that you're making. I just wonder, though, when there's an accident at the moment, you take legal action against that individual, not against the car manufacturer. I'm thinking, imagine there's an accident and it's one of these major companies like Tesla involved. Is that not going to involve like multi-million-dollar lawsuits that could actually end up being a problem?
I think it's going to be pretty clear that that these things are going to be litigated. When you have personal injury that occurs, if you're going to have destruction to property as well, there'll be litigation, and that'll work its way through the court system. I think a lot of jurisdictions right now are also looking at legislating this type of technology, and also these vehicles will be insured as well. Now that means that the insurance company is going to have to adopt, governments are going to have to adopt, regulators are going to have to adopt. But this is the future. And I think these are going to be the problems that we're going to deal with as they come along, but it should not stifle innovation.
I mean, I agree with you in the sense that I think this could have a huge impact on our world. I imagine this scenario where if you're traveling to work in a driverless car, it means that you could work in the car, you could sleep in the car. So, for example, potentially you could live a lot further away from where you work. And that could completely devastate property prices. So, I mean, this is revolutionary.
Vehicle ownership is going to look very different in the future. I think that is inevitable. There's also big pushes around the world for having better public transportation. We're seeing technologies such as bullet trains being implemented around the world or being discussed. The idea of being able to commute into a downtown core a lot faster. City planning as well has evolved. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think when it comes to this type of technology, it's going to have ripple effects within the entire ecosystem. So people are going to be able to live further. You're not going to be stuck in traffic because you don't have to worry about traffic. It's going to integrate in probably with the public transit system. This is the future, but yes, it's going to have ripple effects throughout the entire economy and ecosystem.
I mean, a lot of people are very excited about this. And as you said, it's going to have a huge impact on the way we live our lives, on the way that businesses operate. In reality, though, are we still quite a few years away from this? What's the best estimate?
We're already seeing this technology being deployed around the world. Recently in California, Waymo has driverless taxis, driverless vehicles are making their way. We're seeing Asia putting massive investment into this. I think we're actually around the corner. I don't think the technology is going to be the issue. I think it's going to be governments, regulations, the insurance companies that are going to hold up adoption. But I think we're right around the corner. Within the next year or two, we're going to start seeing these robotic driverless taxis, and we're going to see more of them, and we're going to see more competitors entering the market.
Ritesh, it was great to speak to you. Really enjoyed it. Ritesh Kotak, my guest, tech and cybersecurity specialist, joining me from Toronto.